Hi everyone, we'll get started in just a minute, but just want to make sure, do a little bit of testing here, make sure people can hear me. If you can hear, please send a message in the box on the right-hand side of the screen. We'll get started in just There's a chat box on the right-hand side if anyone needs to put in a question throughout. All right. Fantastic. All right, it is 2 o'clock on the nose. We'll start with some introductions and let others join as they can. Thank you for joining us today.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Eric Berg, along with Miriam Ackerman here on the call today. And we also have Amy Herbig in this call as well, and she's with the BA Group in Northfield. Miriam and I are with Don't Blink, the venture studio that helped launch NetGiver, co-founders of NetGiver.
Yes, and we'll go into that a little bit. With Spire Credit Union, we're the co-founders.
Yep, we like to take a moment at the beginning of our broadcasts, our webinars, broadcasts, and just let people get situated and into the platform. So just hang tight a minute. We will get started here in just a moment.
Well, I'm anxious. I like to be on time with everything. So it is 2:01. I think.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Miriam's ready to go. We've got people that have come on board. So
yep. So thanks for joining us. Again, the chat box on the right-hand side of your screen. Feel free to use it and let us know any questions you have as they arise, and we'll make sure to get to them throughout the webinar or at the very end if we don't address them. Again, this is Eric Berg. I'm Miriam Ackerman, and Amy Herbig is also with us.
Hi, Amy.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm excited to be here to represent the BA Group. Hi, how are you?
We are good, and we hope all of you are well. Let's get started and jump into NetGiver.
So introducing NetGiver. So NetGiver is a new app which we launched here a couple of months ago that allows credit union members to give 100%, or for their donations of 100% to go to the charities they choose. It's designed by credit unions, exclusively for credit union members. The app itself is a mobile app, which is in the iTunes and Google Play Store.
Fantastic, cross-platform.
It is cross-platform.
So talk to me about what's the difference with 100% of the donations?
Yeah, isn't this a funny problem? Because we've talked about this. It's not funny, but 80% of transactions, or even more than 80% transactions now, are done with plastic as opposed to cash or check, as it used to be done in the olden days.
I still have my checkbook from when I was a teenager.
Do you really? Have you used a check in it lately?
Yeah, once every year.
Is that right? Yeah, it's not funny. So people are out at these events, or they're out at a fundraiser, and what they tend to do now is they tend to pull out their credit card and use their credit or debit card to make a donation. And well, that's great. They're making a donation, and it's convenient and easy. Not 100% of that donation is going to the charity they're donating to.
Of course, there's the fees charged by the credit card companies.
Yep, the platform fees. Sometimes some of the organizations have platforms that collect their donations, and those donations, those fees can be even a little bit higher than the credit card fees.
It can exceed 7% of a donation that's taken by credit card fees, platform fees, administrative fees before it actually gets to the nonprofit.
Yeah, and in last year, or in the last couple of years, the $435 billion worth of giving, and I think 287,000 or $287 billion of that is given by individuals alone.
Right.
So if you think about that, if you take 80% of that and realize that there's 3, 4, 5, 6% being taken in credit card fees, there's a lot of money that's not getting to the charities that the donors are giving to. So we built NetGiver so that we could streamline that process and make it easier for credit union members to give to charities that they support and give fully.
Absolutely. And while that's the core of NetGiver and how it works, and the real purpose, though, is it's a tool for your credit union to engage with your members, to engage with the members you currently have, let them give freely and easily from their heart, continue building that loyalty and their deposits and brand equity, and really also to reach out in new ways to new members. It's an additional and unique touch point to speak with your members and potential future members.
We talk about this a lot, Mary. We talk about delivering the credit union promise, right? People serving, people helping people, and just the idea that as a credit union member, you're the one that is paying those fees for yourself to be able to give, right? So, I mean, when you have that problem, why not eliminate that and just go directly to the source and transfer the money directly from your account?
Right. So this is a way for the credit union then to support their members in each and every one of those donations, to support the causes that their members care about, to support their members, and really realize that the credit union is supporting them at their core.
Right. And it's a great message for the credit union to be able to tell prospective members, and the current members. So when we say deposit generating, we mean that we can attract more members because of a program like this. And when we say loyalty building, we want to retain the members we already have. And this is one message that we believe does
really
that.
Highlights the credit union difference.
Absolutely. Yep, for sure.
So what is a NetGiver? Eric, can you just give us a little bit about what's NetGiver?
Yeah, so NetGiver is a term that was coined or used, I guess, extensively by Dan Stoltz, who is the CEO of Spire Credit Union. Spire is
here in Minnesota.
In Minnesota. They're one of our partners in this project, and Dan speaks often about the idea of being a net giver in life. The idea, of course, being that you give more than you get, and that's a phrase we picked up and are using as a brand mark for this platform, and that's what a net giver is.
So it's really coming down to solving the problem of how do we help continue and support the credit union promise of people helping people, and how to really embody that.
Yeah, and set apart from other financial institutions your credit union. We're going to play a quick demo of how the app works. This is a short little minute some odd change video. Miriam's voice is on it, a little voiceover. And she steps us through as simple and easy as it is from the very beginning of signing up with NetGiver all the way through connecting the account and then making a donation. And you'll see just how simple this is on this video.
NetGiver was designed with a simple and secure registration process. Credit union members only need to enter their name and email address, choose a secure password, and accept the terms and conditions to be registered with NetGiver. Once an account is created, they associate their NetGiver account with their supporting credit union. Members are then provided with a third-party secure platform which keeps all data safe and secure, and members use the same credentials they use to access their credit union online banking. Their financial institution is authenticated, and they're able to choose which account they wish to associate with NetGiver, and their account registration is complete. From the credit union branded NetGiver homepage, users are able to select from a list of all IRS-registered 501c3 organizations in the nation. They choose the organization to which they wish to donate, and they choose the amount that they wish to contribute. Here we will enter $500. The user is given an opportunity to confirm their donation, and once this is complete, NetGiver nightly sends a batch ACH file, which then transfers the money directly from the credit union member's account to the nonprofit account. Credit unions offering NetGiver safely and easily support 100% member giving to nonprofits nationwide. All right. So really, it's super easy to use. We've put a lot of emphasis in the UX and UI of this platform in building this app.
Yeah, and we spent time making sure that anybody could really set up an account and use it very easily, right?
Absolutely.
The video showed, and of course we obviously know that it's us doing it, but it showed about a minute and a half to get through the entire registration process.
And the donation.
And the donation,
So 1 minute and 26 seconds. I used the words UX, UI. Would you mind telling us a little bit about what that is?
Yeah, sure. So from a development standpoint and a software interface standpoint, you want the UX, the user experience, and the UI, the user interface, to be very seamless. And it's one of the things that it's most relevant or most seen, I think, in the use of our smartphones today, right? Our smartphones are really designed to be, very UX and UI simple to use. And so we see it there, but it's been around, the term's been around for a long time. You want to be able to, the idea is to get in and get out of the app quickly, to do what you need to do inside the app, reduce the barriers to entry, reduce the barriers to making a donation, reduce the barriers to setting up an account, and then know what the purpose is. And that's really what the app is built to do. It's built to make a donation. It is a one-to-many platform that allows you to be able to find your charity easily, make the donation, and get back out and go on with the rest of your day. And that's really what it's designed to do.
And then the UI, the user interface, is what you see, the visual, the colors, the engagement, the layout. And that we'll get into that a little bit further when we're starting to talk about brand and your credit union tying into this. But that's
some really fun stuff that we've got going on.
Absolutely.
There. Yep, exactly. So.
Now, before we quickly move on to the next slide, I just want to say you're probably wondering about integration into your existing app. And I get that. We've heard that. And just put a pin in it for the moment because we'll address that. But first, let's explore NetGiver as a standalone app. So
the idea behind NetGiver is we wanted to create the win-win-win situation that credit unions could tell the story of, look at how we support our members and our community and what our members support in our community. So from the credit union perspective, we want to engage with our members in a feel-good way. We want that feel-good interaction. We want them to really be excited about giving and giving with the help of their credit union. And so they take that message with them. They take that emotional connection to what's so important to them, which is the charities they support, and they bring their credit union along with that in that transaction in a way that isn't just, you're just allowing me to have this happen. You're actually allowing us to give fully.
And facilitating it and really being part and present of that experience. Every one of those feel-good interactions then the credit union is part of.
Absolutely, and I think what's really important about that to understand is that that's a message that the credit union that is on NetGiver can tell again and again and again to the members of the community, potential future credit union members, current credit union members, to the media, to nonprofit organizations.
Well, absolutely. So nonprofit organizations, you're on the board of one. Can you tell me a little bit? You guys just had one of your annual fundraisers. You tell me, you were talking to me about the line item that has changed over the last couple of years.
I just got the report back this morning. Literally just got this morning. I'm not kidding you. I just got the report back this morning about the fundraiser we had over the summer. We had a part of a small board for an organization here locally that supports inner city youth by giving them life skills through sports.
Fantastic.
And we had an event this summer, and at the event it was fairly well attended. It wasn't, we didn't have thousands of people there, but we had a couple hundred people there. And what was very interesting to me in looking at the line item between last year's event, where we raised about $23,000, and this year's event where we raised $29,000. was that last year our costs associated with the credit card fees were about $250, right? This year, those costs were over $600. We took in more money, right? But we also took more credit cards. We took more of the donations that way, fewer checks, more credit cards, which cost us another $400
And that's
just for this one event.
Straight credit cards. You're not using a platform for this
No,
one.
that's just a straight credit card. Yeah, I think the organization just uses a regular credit card.
So what could this organization have done with an extra $600?
Well, if you think about it from that perspective, it's really great, right? You think about with the difference it makes in the story that the credit union can tell the nonprofit can tell their members. $400 for this organization is an entire summer program for probably about 20 youth in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. So it's one entire program for a summer. And that's, that 25 kids get a chance to play, soccer or lacrosse in a program that they don't get to now because of those credit card fees. We can say that. We could say that, right?
So that's a painful point
yeah.
there. So really, this is an opportunity to engage the nonprofits, the community, but really keep your existing members engaged.
Well, that's it, right? So the loyalty building part of this is really important, right? The loyalty building aspect of NetGiver and telling your members again and again, hey, look at this is how we support you and the things that you care about. So it's something that that I think that the story can be told again and again. So
absolutely. Just anecdotally speaking, we were talking with someone who, when they heard that this was something that a credit union was supporting, they've been a lifelong customer of a bank, a large financial institution here. And when they heard that this was something that the credit union was supporting, they actually did switch, not just some of their accounts, they switched all of their accounts.
Lock, stock, and barrel went from a 30-year banking relationship with a for-profit bank and moved everything, including their retirement, to the credit union and said, I give. It was giving was part of their mantra, and their giving was so important to them. I think it wasn't very much per month, but it was enough. It was many different
where it matters. It does matter.
Organizations that they gave to. They moved everything over, and we've seen that a couple of times. And so we're very, very new in this, right? And so in terms of the app is very brand new, so we expect to see more of that kind of thing, and we really expect that that's a story that will be told and can be told again and again for credit unions.
We've been receiving some help from our marketing partner about how to tell that story, and we'll make sure to go dive into that in a little bit as well. But I want to make sure to answer some of the questions that come up really often. And so looking quickly at how this platform was built, how we built NetGiver, and really the key is that we've taken care of the hard stuff. We know that your staff already has enough on their plate, and another initiative can be very hard to incorporate. So we have taken care of the user security and privacy. We've taken care of the compliance. We are working with Whitley to finish our SOC 2 review. And we have built this platform so that there's no IT support needed, that a charity, a nonprofit, can use it very simply and easily, but a credit union can also sign up for this. And just by sharing some of your basic brand information beyond the platform without any sort of deep integration into your systems.
Yeah, and when we say, so security was hugely important from the beginning, right? Privacy, extremely important from the beginning. We knew those things were going to need to be taken care of. The compliance part, that's been something that we've really spent a lot of time and attention on. And then when we say no IT support needed, what we mean by that is this. The app, because of the way that it's built and because of how it plugs into the online banking systems that are currently offered by most credit unions, we already have the connection with the third-party operators that allow us to be able to make that connection happen. Well, we're happy to step your IT team through that, but it's really simple for us to be able to say, hey, here are your options from an IT perspective of the things that you can offer your members. Here's where we plug into your online banking system. so that your members can just we just pass through. It's basically a pass through from us,
Yeah.
where they connect right through our app to their online banking system. But it's already built into the online banking system. It's part of what's been built into the industry's DNA. So when we say no IT support needed, we're saying we don't need separate APIs. We don't need to build separate software on your platform. We don't need to be involved with that, and that reduces cost, helps us keep this free to be a free app that doesn't carry charges with it
For members and
for members and for
nonprofits,
nonprofits, and allows us to be able to reduce those costs so that the cost to the credit union is as inexpensive as it can be, but still be 100% secure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So as we walked through that 1 minute and 26 seconds from registration to donation, you'll have seen Spire Credit Union's logo along the bottom and the Spire colors reflected all the way throughout. This is where your credit union gets an opportunity to really be present as part of the donation process, as part of the giving process for individuals. The NetGiver icon, the NetGiver name is always there, but your colors, your brand, your logo is integrated into the app as soon as the credit union member associates their account with your credit union.
This is a really cool part, right? Because we have one app in the App Store, so your credit union members need to go to one place, right? And your credit union members on one side of the country are going to go to the same place that the credit union members on the other side of the country are going to go to. And once they download the app, when they log in, they actually log in to their account, but they associate their account with your credit union. So then when that happens, the entire app colors and brand change to reflect your credit union's brand. So they'll always see that brand when they come into the app.
And we really take care of that. I mean, that's part of what we do in the onboarding process.
Yep.
is we work with you to make sure we're following your brand standards and that we make this a light lift for you and we make it into a beautiful app for your members.
That's part of the plan, trying to keep it really lightweight.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So really, this is a chance now. I'd like Amy, you to take over from here if you're able to chime in and share with us. We've got a turnkey app is really what we've done, a turnkey solution. And why don't you share with us a little bit about the turnkey market?
Sure, absolutely. I'd be happy to. You know, that's one of the many reasons why the BA Group is the marketing partner for NetGiver and the credit union partners, because as Eric and Miriam were just showing all of you, that not only is it about, of course, the app being integrated on a co-branding scale, so your members feel that while they are within the NetGiver platform, that it is truly associated with their credit union, your credit union. And because of that, as we all know too, you got to market it, right? You got to make awareness for your membership, even using it, as we were talking about, as a deposit generator, as a way to build and acquire new members through a deposit. So you have to have material. So what we do is we've created a package of the assets. So we give you the logo, fonts, and the brand guidelines for NetGiver to where you can incorporate it into your own realm. Additionally, you will have, like you see there on the right there, you will have branded NetGiver assets, but there's the ability to then co-brand in certain aspects, like with the app, for your brand colors and logos. So we have tested this across various different colors and platforms, especially with the BA Group being a nationwide credit union only marketing company and branding company. We know that not one size fits all. So we're able to work with the credit unions that partner with NetGiver to make sure you're being represented on brands, so is NetGiver, and we've got that cohesion. So able to do all that through all those assets and guidelines, so it's also not brain surgery. Additionally, you know, some credit unions might have 9 people in marketing. They say, great, give us the logo package and the brand package and we'll be on our lucky way. Or there's those that are a little more leaner in the marketing department, maybe not even a body in marketing. And so the BA Group, as that partner, can work with each credit union based on their needs to discuss a sort of strategy and build a relationship from there for us to be your marketing and branding strategist for your NetGiver relationship. So you have everything from the free assets to being able to partner with the industry expert, just like the BA Group, and everything in between. So it really is per every credit union's individual need.
That's fantastic. And I know you've been some great support to us as well as we've been developing NetGiver and the branding and our own marketing. Can you tell us a little bit about marketing for the nonprofits as well?
Absolutely, and so that's another asset that we provide as well. Is we will have, not only will you get the logo and the branding package, but you'll and examples of templates, if you will, like you see on the right, but there's also those developed for you to market to nonprofits. So your members and those potential members is one target group, or 1A, 1B, if you will, on the membership side. But then, of course, you're going to want to let the nonprofits, you're going to want to let them know that you now offer this to your membership, which will only benefit them. And Miriam and Eric will get into more of the reporting and the idiosyncrasies of what you'd be able to learn from the app. But if you have a local United Way or a food shelf or even booster clubs or 501c3 on the nonprofit scale that you know your members are big into. I mean, for all we know, your credit union is already co-branding with the local high school and having the mascot on your debit cards, whatever the situation is. As long as they are officially a nonprofit of 501c3, they're going to want to know that you offer this, so you can kind of do both ways of marketing, to where letting the nonprofit share out, hey, XYZ Credit Union, it has this app now to where you can donate to us 100%. We don't have to worry about the middleman fees or the charges. So we also provide you with that material as well, so you can be hitting all your bases and really blowing up your marketing and PR around this new wonderful app you'll have.
It's great. There's support on all sides for all different players in here.
Yes.
Well, so we've got the support for the nonprofits, we've got the support for the credit unions. So let's quickly look at then why we've built NetGiver as a standalone app and what the real benefits are to it being a standalone app. So I know that credit unions, you have spent a lot of time and energy building your online mobile banking platforms or your online banking platforms. This, as NetGiver, allows you to be an additional touch point, a unique touch point, something more in the hands of all of your members. Additionally, in the hands of all your members means that it gets to extend your reach even beyond your community. The benefits then of being able to have many credit unions on a single platform allows us to keep our costs way down, so that we never get to the point of having to charge members and nonprofits a fee for using this, so that we can avoid that 6.97%.
Yeah, there are features within this that, because of how we've built it, as one app and a standalone app with many different credit unions and credit union members using it, it brings all of those costs down, as opposed to having to hit those thresholds over each credit union, right? So we've really designed it in a way for efficiencies. And that's really, I think, what we're talking about here in the strength of many sort of situation is, with many hands in this, it makes the lifting light, right? So
Absolutely.
I think that's what it comes down to.
That also then extends to anytime there needs to be an upgrade.
Yeah, all of the upgrades and all of the updates, all of those things are done. They're done to one source code, right? And they're not done across different platforms. Again, when we create an update on something, we're updating just one piece and not having to go into and work with your IT department to update your system or another system or another system. We're updating one system, and that's all happening through our one portal.
The second reason for a standalone app is the possibility for the community impact, the strength of the community impact. You're able to reach all 501c3 organizations.
What's interesting too, we had a conversation with a credit union yesterday that was asking us about the same question, and they said, they made a great point. They said, "Oh, I get it. So we may have in our area, 20 or 30 organizations that we could support with our platform, and if the platform is being used by credit unions around the country, there may be people that will be donating to our." To credit unions and our platforms, and they'll know about them because they'll be on the app and they'll be used on, you see donations going to these organizations on the app.
Well, they have their own foundation, actually, this one credit union we were talking with, and 50% of donations that were made for a cause last year were made by people outside of their own credit union member base to their own foundation. So that could be other credit union members wanting to contribute, and So this platform allows it all to be a one-to-many contribution system.
And just think about the number of people that saw that were banking customers,
Mm-hmm.
right? And saw that and thought, wow, the organization is this credit union is supporting this giving for this platform. Now imagine if they had NetGiver, right?
So let's take a look at this next picture here. We've
Yeah,
got a pretty
absolutely.
little picture here. As a credit union, you have your causes that you're able to support, whether it's in time or financial contributions. Your staff, you are supporting the causes in your community that are near and dear to you. But your resources are limited to those handful, maybe, of causes, of nonprofits. Whereas with something like NetGiver, you can continue to support all of those causes in the same way that you've been doing so. But in addition to that, you can then support all of the causes that are important to your members. You can support your members in their charitable endeavors.
Yeah, what we like to say is it lets you show your members that you care about what they care about. Right.
Absolutely.
So this graphic is that example, right? If your member cares about the arts and they have one particular organization that they want to support, it might be a small organization and it's not something that the credit union can spend time and or energy and or money on. But let's say your member wants to donate to them, they donate to that organization and they get the support of your credit union in that donation.
The pet rescue that I support, a small local organization called Secondhand Hounds, they are not supported by my credit union at the moment. Not that my credit union doesn't support lots of great causes, but this is a small one that has other sponsors from other places and has maybe not been on the radar yet. However, through NetGiver, my credit union is supporting in supporting that cause and allowing my 100% of my donation to make it to Secondhand Hounds.
Well, it's interesting. So Secondhand Hounds is an organization that supports dogs.
Yeah, it's where I got my dogs.
Well, right, that's great. and the Humane Society is obviously a large organization,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
That's
so I
great
could see a credit union supporting the Humane Society and saying, well, we cover our members and their pets with the Humane Society support, right? But your organization is a much smaller organization, is an organization that you care about. Not that there's anything wrong with the Humane Society, but you support that organization. So you can support this and your credit union is right there with you in that transaction.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And imagine this now, you're at a fundraiser and you're able, you see that you can donate with Visa, MasterCard, XYZ giving platform, and NetGiver. And if you use NetGiver, 100% of your donations make it tonight to the nonprofit. Well, that's there then marketing for a brand extension for the credit union beyond the membership base into the donor base of all of those nonprofits they're supporting.
Yep, that's exactly right.
All right, let's move on here.
Very good, Miriam.
Thank you. I get a little passionate about that one. Security, though.
Yes,
So
we're all
this.
passionate about security. Yes.
And it's one solution. So no IT involvement, but additionally, no extra doorways because we're not doing doorways.
Yeah.
We're not creating APIs for each separate instance of someone's use of this. It is one solution with a finite set of entry points. And then all of our fintech partners are very strong fintech partners. We've chosen to work with organizations that this is all they do.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And specifically, they're just doing one job. We don't have them doing multiple things. It's we have one vendor to do one job. We have another vendor to do another job, and that allows our security to become even stronger and some of the redundancies built in so that we can protect
everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is also then why we don't tie directly into your credit union system, because we don't want to tie NetGiver directly to your users' financial data.
Right, and we don't have to. We've already got the partnership with the third-party organization that connects directly with your online provider, and those rails have already been set. They're already being used by other applications, and they're safe and secure. And so we just picked up on those, so we don't have any extra wires hanging out of our contraption.
Absolutely. So really, all in all, that's the reason why we built this as a standalone app, and we think that the one of the biggest reasons, security, and second biggest reason is that it's a unique touch point. It's a way for you to additionally reach out and support your members in your community.
Yep, exactly.
Let's look at what those communities are doing.
Yeah.
So I came across this study recently, and I think this is a fascinating one, that 47% of consumers will leave brands that lack a purpose. Now, this goes across all generations, and you can see that just in a 2-year time period, there has been a significant shift in individuals and how they align themselves with brands. They actively consider values of an organization when they're looking to make a purchase. So looking at Gen X, that's a 5% shift right there, and all the way through the golden generation, people are really associating their identity, their purchases with companies that are right in line with them. Of course, then we can talk about the coveted millennial generation.
And this is a big one, because obviously from a millennials, from a credit union's perspective, we want to try to maintain membership for as long as we can. So
Right.
The younger the member is that joins a credit union and sticks with a credit union, the longer they're going to have the relationship with the credit union.
Absolutely.
They're going to be loyal, for that period of time. And this is what's great about this, is that these millennials, of which I'm not one of them, but
Sorry, I am.
these great millennials out there are very focused on being involved with organizations that have a mission and a cause that they feel strongly about. So this is across the board for credit. This is a great opportunity for credit unions to find millennial members, and NetGiver is a great way to talk to those millennials about how a credit union and why a credit union works. We just had a conversation the other day with a millennial who asked us what a credit union was, and this millennial happens to.
He's an heir to a rather large national brand.
Yes.
He was not aware of what a credit union was or why he would join a credit union, what the difference is from a bank.
I would think that somebody like that who has, let's just say, wealth in their family, it would behoove the credit union industry to be talking to people like that. And
Absolutely.
This is an opportunity for us to do that. And when we showed him what NetGiver was, he became very excited and
Right in line with his values.
Right in line with his values, and it was nice to be able to tell that story. Now we're not the credit union, right? So we didn't have a brand to tell them about. We told them about Spire because that's our partner, but a credit union could tell that brand over and over.
Absolutely.
That story over and over again.
And as we know, the phone never leaves the hands of most individuals these days, especially the younger generations. So this is a way to reach into their pockets, into their hands, and allow them to engage in the ways that they value and become part of that engagement, really become part of their mentality when it comes to giving and being engaged in the community. So what's the biggest advantage to your credit union? Well, this is where I look to you guys to share that with me. It could be member retention. It could be member acquisition. It could be supporting your own foundation or your own causes. Each of these are things that NetGiver can help do, and your credit union is unique. So whether it is member acquisition, whether it is member engagement and retention, it may be different for each of you, but NetGiver was really built to support you and whatever that means to you and your credit union. So to that end, we also look at how we can make this accessible to you and therefore then allow you to make it available to all of your members.
Right. And so what we did, and we're happy to talk about pricing with anybody after this webinar. We can talk through that with you individually because we got pricing based on tiers, right? So it depends on the size of your credit union, and that's not unusual.
And Amy tells us this is constantly pointing to different models where this is really regular in the credit union industry.
Yep. And so, what we did do is we said, look, if it costs, I don't know, somewhere between $300 or $250 and $700 to bring a member on, cost of member acquisition is somewhere in that range. We said, well, let's say it costs $300 to bring a new member on to a credit union. based on their size, how many new members would have to hear about NetGiver and go, I see the difference that a credit union makes based on the fact that that NetGiver is a product that this credit union showed me. I'm going to join the credit union. Well, how many in a year would need to have that journey, right? Mm-hmm. Well, based on the size of your credit union, if you're the largest of largest credit unions, 100 people a year in your first year of using NetGiver would need to hear that message and then become a member. Just 100 in the first year. Okay. If you're a small credit union, it's 18 a year.
Gee. Okay.
3 a month, 2 a month, right? So, so if you can tell the story and you can use NetGiver to tell the story about what the difference of a credit union is, what's different about a credit union. Hey, look, what's different about a credit union is that when you want to give to your charity of your choice, we're going to help you with that so that your charity gets 100% of the donations.
And this is really where the marketing team can help support you in this as well. If you are a small credit union and you're just looking for those 18 new members to basically write off the cost of NetGiver, the BA group is absolutely interested in helping you to craft that message and put that together for you.
Yeah, and Amy, my guess is that, with the right program put together and the right messaging in the community and the right connections with the nonprofit organizations, finding 18 new members a year with this message is probably going to be something that most credit unions will be able to exceed at that level.
I'm usually not one to make assumptions, but I would be shocked if one couldn't, no matter their asset size, because if we're talking that net 365 days, I would actually look at each credit union to set a higher benchmark, of course. But yeah, credit unions, as we all know on the call here today and the webinar today, we're always looking to differentiate ourselves. We have a wonderful story. No two credit unions are identical, yet we're all under the same people helping people philosophy. And I love the stories and the little spontaneous focus groups, if you will, or case studies of individuals that have heard about NetGiver and how it speaks to them. And like you said, Miriam, with your stats, which are amazing, but it's not just a millennial thing, it's across the board, how people are understanding and looking more at a brand and a culture and what they stand for and how they give back. And if any business entity is prime for that, that's credit unions. So this for any credit union size to be able to ROI the cost on what they would need to do from a net member standpoint to bring it in, to rationalize it is, at the end of the day, I would almost call ridiculous, because it should be so simple to do. But you don't just want to do the bare minimum. You want to blow it out of the water, and definitely strategizing with the credit union, you can do that.
Absolutely, and you all will have the support of the BA group if that's something you want going forward. And then in year 2, of course, because the one-time onboarding fee has been taken care of, it's just the monthly service at this point. The based on that low cost of member acquisition that we've used to estimate here, the number really is well within reach for each of the tiers of credit unions about the new members that need to come on board in order to, again, I say justify, but essentially it's just to make a wash of the investment into NetGiver.
Yeah, because I think, the goal would obviously be to far exceed this, right? I think if I was the marketing person, or if I was the CFO looking at how to justify this, I'd call Amy and I'd say, Amy, let's put together a program that allowed us to far exceed the 35 members or the 53 members or whatever that number is that needs to justify this in a year. Let's try to do that in a month. How can we do that? How can we put together a program, right? And maybe what you do is you pick your 12 charities that you're working with, right?
Partner with them
and set up an event or work with them on their monthly or whatever, annual or semi-annual fundraisers, and be a part of that so that NetGiver is in front of them, and your credit union along with NetGiver is the message that can be out there. And so, Amy, if I called you up and I said, hey, let's put together a program, and I said, I've got this nonprofit that wants to work with us, can you help us put together a program? I mean, I can see that working really well.
Oh, absolutely. And actually what we see time and time again is credit union after credit union, no matter where they're located in the country or asset size, tend to more than not have the struggle of who do we donate to, or who do we provide our sponsorship and dollars too that we have for our general ledger allotted every year. We hear time and time again, well, we've always supported X, so we've always done that, so we're going to keep on doing that. But that was 2 CEOs ago's charity, and we've just never dropped out of it. That they're looking for that community and that nonprofit giving back environment, but year over year and decade over decade, they've stacked up based on leadership that have come and gone, or maybe based on their original foundation or SEG, and now they're no longer associated with it. So it's a sort of a almost not chaotic mess, but a jumble. And because it's not a comfortable thing to say no to. No, I'm sorry, we're going to stop donating to this charity that we've donated only $200 a year to for the last 20 years, whatever the scenario. NetGiver is also just another avenue that allows you to dial in and focus, like you're saying, Eric and Miriam, that, okay, those that are on the NetGiver platform and those that you see your members have more of a stronger affinity to, now you actually have a reason to maybe say a polite, we wish you all the best, but we're going to focus our dollars away into this 1, 2, or 3, what have you, nonprofit, because we now know this is where our members put the majority of their efforts. So it's another way to help focus on strategy of that giving back for a credit union.
And that's a great point. I really look forward to hearing some of those stories from the nonprofits, from the credit unions, how they engage with the nonprofits in different ways, or how they really figure out, because the credit unions will be able to see what causes are important to their members, how much is being donated, and therefore then market and reach out to people in a whole new way that they haven't been able to before. So I'm really looking forward to some of these stories. So just want to look at this. I know we're coming up. Oh, wow, is it already this late in September?
Listen, here's the thing. So these are some of the things we've been talking about for the last couple of months here this summer, and they're early adopter benefits, right? So we're going to talk about a couple of them right now, right? Market exclusivity, right? If you're the first one in your area, you can tell the story. You can get you can partner with the best nonprofits. Get the message out there. Work with Amy's team and get the buzz going in the community. Be ready for the 2019 giving season. Those are big things. That's coming up fast.
Really fast. It's going to be December 2nd or 3rd, I think, this year is Giving Tuesday.
That's pretty quick. So we put together a couple of things. Here's the thing. The 15th is just a couple of days away, right? Yeah. So if this is something that your credit union is interested in and you want to take advantage of these things, if you contact us before the end of the week and just say you want to have the conversation, as long as we've started to have the conversation, we'll honor that, for the end of this week. Just it gets us through this week, and we know that it's a last minute for some of you that have seen this. I know a couple of you that are on right now have emailed back and forth about this. We've been talking about this for a couple of months and getting you on this webinar. But I just want to make sure that you know that the 15th is there. We won't be offering this again next week, and we're progressing into our marketing plan a little bit further than that. So let's talk this week, make this happen, and get this happening for you.
Get you ready for the holiday season, the giving season.
Get you signed up and get you on board if that is something you want to do now. So those are the pieces that are happening now here with this early adopter piece. I think the most important one though is being ready for the 2019 giving season and really looking forward to how this can be used to message to your members in a way that nobody else in your community has.
Right. Setting yourself apart as a thought leader, really. Absolutely. In your community and in the credit union community.
Yep.
So thank you so much for your time. We will take a couple of questions here, and you'll be able to, though, first let's quickly do a couple of wrap-up pieces. You will be able to rewatch the webinar. You'll get a link directly to you to give you access to that. We will work with each one of you who've attended today to dive a little deeper and to engage in how this specifically speaks to your credit union, your causes, your nonprofits that you care about. So that said, let's also, one more thing is that we encourage you to reach out to us. Our email address, Amy's email address, however you best want to contact us, we are open to engaging in any kind of conversation you want to further this and see how we can work with your credit union.
If you have questions and you want to let us and ask those, feel free to do that now, and we can field them. If we can't get to all of them, right now. We'll reach back out to you and connect with you later. But we just have a few minutes left here, so why don't we take a few
Got a couple
questions
here.
that
Yeah. So one question was, how do I know that the charity I support is in the app? Eric, do you want me to take this? Do you want to take this one?
Why don't you take it?
Okay.
Yeah.
So we work with a third party who compiles for us and sends to us a list of all the IRS registered 501c3 organizations in the nation. So that means all the churches that have done their 990s, all of the small nonprofits, they are all entirely within our system as long as they are registered with the IRS. They are part of the NetGiver platform. I like that because a lot of times credit unions have talked to us about their foundations and their local organizations, or if they're a faith-based credit union, their local faith organizations. As long as they're with the IRS, we supply them, we serve them up in NetGiver as a organization to which to donate. Let's see. How about, I like the focus on philanthropy. We do a lot already, but how can I sell this to my team as a valuable tool for the credit union? Eric, why don't you take this one?
Yeah. So, I think we chatted about this a little bit, right?
Dive into it a bit more.
Yeah. This is as from the member's perspective, this is a benefit to the member, right? And so we want to market this as a benefit to the member and show them the credit union difference by using this platform. And I think that when it comes right down to it, it's like anything else. You can get out of it what you put into it, right? And this is a platform that sort of has this blue sky ability to talk about the credit union difference and different ways that it can be done. Amy's team can take it and walk you through a program that allows you to be able to reach the community in ways that you weren't able to in other things, or you can do it on your own. We'll also be sharing with all of our credit union users, the results and the stories of how other credit unions and how other nonprofit organizations are connecting in their community with NetGiver and using NetGiver to make that happen. So you'll see some case studies from us and some user stories. I think it's just one of those things where we provide the platform and you can take it and run with it and use our support with the BA group or your own teams or the combination thereof. And that's really how we see this working really well.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Turnkey solution, all-inclusive. There's a question about marketing and what that includes. Amy, would you be able to help break down a little bit again what is included as part of the NetGiver package?
Sure, absolutely. The free portion of that sounds like that's asking is getting the brand packages of the logos, the fonts, the colors, as well as the assets for your credit union, all working files basically, and the assets for the nonprofits from your credit union. So there's those packages that will be handouts, posters, banner ads, but all in working file because we know different credit unions have different homepage banner ad size and specs. Same for when it comes to the nonprofit. Maybe you want a 22 by 28 size poster. Maybe you want a handout. Maybe you want 8.5 by 11 or a combination of the three. So we have those preset for you. So it's very easy if you want to manage all the co-branding on the marketing side and utilize it for your social media, etc. on your own. You'll have those working files for your design team or designer or whoever runs your marketing to be able to manipulate in the sense to do the co-branding as well as the brand standards. So you're keeping the integrity of your brand as well as the integrity of NetGiver, because as any good marketer knows, that's how you keep a brand living and building that consistency and integrity is not to mess with it too much, is to stay with that. So we that is what's given to all the partners. Now, and anything after that, like Eric has touched on and myself and Miriam, if you're going, okay, we only work with one nonprofit and we want to definitely build a strategy and a business plan to work with them and our marketing team, or maybe we only have one body in marketing and she's already tapped to no end and we need a partner to come in. then we would talk with you about building that relationship. Maybe there's another credit union that has a marketing team of 9 individuals, but they're tapped and they say, we can't focus on this because we're focusing on a core conversion. Maybe there's a online banking upgrade, or you're really into financial literacy, and now you want to partner with another or with a nonprofit that's outside of that scope, and you just don't have the man, woman power and resources. So we will then work with you to build that relationship. Yes, of course, there'd be a fee to that, but we're not going to put everybody in a box because, again, no 2 credit unions are alike. So we would work with you to discuss, and that's how the BA group works with all our credit union partners anyways, is they might say, we're going through a branding process, but no 2 credit union has ever had the exact same rebranding process. So we would work with you to figure out what are your business needs, what are your goals with NetGiver, as well as to provide you thoughts and insights that maybe you're not thinking of for what NetGiver could be for your credit union. So we're really there to be that strategy partner, as well as possibly the one who works with you to implement everything. So it's a little concierge boutique, if you will, based on every credit union's need.
Fantastic. It's really supportive platform across all different aspects of it. There's just one, we'll take one last question. I want to make sure we address. Somebody is asking, did you say that this can be part of our online banking? Eric, can you clarify that for us?
Yeah, so I think, and we'll just touch on this again really quick. We talked about it a little bit earlier. We built NetGiver as a standalone app because we can keep the cost lower, we can keep it more secure, and we can provide a community effect from all credit unions' perspective to help lower the cost and keep the security and the updating at a very affordable and very secure and strong place for this type of transaction to take place. Again, like we said earlier, if we have to bring this into every individual platform, it involves a lot more time, energy, a lot more involvement from IT. As a standalone app, we can streamline that and keep the security high and the privacy tight, and that's really why we've set it up as a standalone.
Right, absolutely, and as well as cost efficiency as well for the credit unions.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, I want to thank everyone for joining us today. I know a couple of you had to drop off and run, but I will connect with you guys. I will connect, we will reach out to all of you who've joined us today. Thank you for giving generously of your time. I appreciate it. I know we all enjoy sharing NetGiver with you.
Yeah, thanks everyone for joining us today. If you have questions, reach out to us, but we'll follow up with you as well. And as always, if something comes up that you want to reach out to us about, we're always available.
Thanks.
Thank you, everyone.
All right. Have a good day.
Bye.